All right, LSU fans, welcome back into the LSU Film Room, brought to you by Community Coffee. This week, we've got linebacker Mike Jones. Mike, welcome to Baton Rouge. I hadn't had a chance to say that to you just yet. How's your time in Baton Rouge been?
Man, it's been great, man. From the people to the culture. And
go ahead and say it, the food. Yeah, go ahead and say
it. It's been great, man. I really love it down here.
We're glad to have you here, and we're going to dive into some of Mike's best plays, get his reaction to some of these plays that I think have been fantastic so far on the season. And last week, we'll get started here in Tuscaloosa. This was a play that I saw from the sidelines. It was one of my favorite plays in the game. We're bringing pressure here, and your thought process here is a couple of different things because, all right, you're blitzing on a linebacker, but you also know you've got Damone who is playing off of you, right? You've got to do whatever you got to do to get inside this rusher, but you set him up really nice. And as a running back, right, there's so much space here, and I'm in no man's land because I know what you're trying to do, which is get to the quarterback, but I don't really know what Damone's doing as a running back because I'm focused on you, but you know exactly what you had to do to be able to get free here.
Well, early on, I started creeping up a little bit. So this blitz, it was a lot about timing, you know. You kind of wanted to be like a boom, boom type thing. You see me and Damone, like, by the time I get to the level of the back, he's, like, right behind me, you know. So if I didn't make the sack or the back came and picked me up, you know, he would be the one that'd be the free rusher. And so I try to time it up. You know, I actually start pointing to the ball. Hey, watch the ball. And I'm creeping up a little bit. You know, not much of a giveaway. But I know I have Damone behind me and wrapping around. And so my main job right there, my main focus was to make sure I'm inside this back and he takes me. You know,
right.
Because I know if he takes me, he's going to be the free hitter. And we're going to get a sack on this play. And so I see the back step up, you know, my angle coming towards the line of scrimmage. You know, I didn't get too tight towards J-Roy. You know,
right.
And J-Roy is another big factor of the play. The fact that he's able to get across, you know, makes that guard have to stay on him, which just expands that lane for both me and Damone. And so I stay wide. I stay wide on that, and which makes space for me in the back, you know, and make my move inside. And I actually thought I was probably going to get tripped up. You know, I thought they were going to cut early. And I made my move, was able to stay on my feet, and end up getting to the quarterback.
Yeah, so as a running back, I can tell you, like, the thing I'm most terrified of is you beating me inside. It's just, it gives running backs nightmares. Even though, like, for you, like, you knew you had to get inside this running back, but he doesn't know that. Like, he doesn't know exactly what game you are running, and so he's terrified that you're going to do that. So when you do that and you make that quick move, right, he tries to recover so quickly that he doesn't even really see Damone. So you're right. Like, it's either I'm making the sack because I'm taking this inside move, or I'm going to take the back's attention, and Damone's going to make the play. Like, regardless, this is one where the Tigers are going to win because of the way that they played this and the way that y'all executed.
Absolutely.
That's your first sack as an LSU Tiger. How'd that feel? Now, how many sacks do you have in your college career? Was this the first one?
I have half sack.
No, so this is the first one. Okay.
Yeah, first full sack by myself. Man, it was a great feeling. You know, coming into the week, I was excited that we were going to be pressuring a lot more. And I actually slipped on one earlier. I feel like I could have had a sack earlier in the game, and I slipped and got a pressure. But coming off the block, you know, I wrapped up Bryce Young's legs, and I'm like, dang it, he probably got the ball off. And so I look up and I see the ball on the ground. I'm just like, oh, what we did. So, yeah, that was dope, man. That was a great moment.
That was a great play, great move, great moment, great scheme with you and Damone there. All right, let's go back a couple of weeks. Now, this is you in the run game. All right, and so this, to me, as an offensive player, seeing you react this fast, this is something that you saw on tape. They're running counter here. They're pulling their guard, and they're pulling the F, right? So you got two pullers, and as soon as you see it, you do a really nice job of recognizing where exactly you got to be to blow this play up. So is this something that you saw throughout the week? We'll go to the end zone, Cop. I think it gives a better glimpse of what we're talking about here.
Yeah, absolutely. This is something Coach Baker, you know, was harping on us throughout the week. These guys, they ran a lot of counter. Not a lot, you know, that wasn't their only thing, but they would run counter with the back and the pistol. So I knew with that, the Y, or you call it the F, you know, early on, he's kind of looking across him, get a little glance across. So we already saying pre-snap, hey, alert flash, he's going to come across. And so in my mind, I'm already thinking counter. And with the counter, I know that play side guards are going to try to go to Damone. And so my mindset is I got to be tight. You know, I was expecting somebody to come pick me up and I was going to spill it, so the moment get over the top whenever he beats his guard, and the play would come to him. But I believe I was tight enough there that they didn't even see me. Nobody really picked me up. And so, kind of just being tight, put me in the perfect position to, be the unblocked player and make the play.
Yeah, I always call this guy an F because Ys aren't athletic enough to be able to pull. It's always the fullback F types, right? Yeah. See, that's why I call it that. But you know what he's not doing a great job of is, and I think you pointed out a little bit there. Look at his eyes.
Yeah.
Like if I see a Y or F, we're kind of joking here, but if I see somebody that's pulling, he's got all that weight right there on that leg. His eyes are pointing that way. It's because he's pushing off to come back here.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that's a tendency, right? That's a tendency that I can pick up on. I can pick up on what he's trying to do, which is trying to get a little step. See, he does a little fake counter step here, but your eyes tell me everywhere that you're going.
Absolutely.
It's just something else you can pick up on film.
Absolutely.
All right, same game. And this one, we were kind of joking before we hit record. You've got a center coming out on you, and not a small center. I mean, this is one of the bigger centers you'll see. Obviously, like center's a little bit different than guard and tackle. This was a big boy, and you used your hands, got rid of him quickly, and made a play here. But what's that like when you're sitting here, you're a stack backer, and you've got a free offensive lineman coming to block you down the field?
It is tough. It is definitely tough, I think that's one of the more interesting things about the SEC, man. These gigantic dudes in front of you, both on our side and on their side. And so knowing that you got to maybe have to beat one of them and then tackle a powerful back, it can keep a guy up at night.
That's right.
But yeah.
But I know this is something, like I've had a lot of conversations with linebacker coach Blake Baker. And by the way, one of the more impressive football minds I've been around.
Absolutely.
But I always hear him talk about hands and being physical, shedding blockers, making the play, and that's exactly what you do here. I mean, when you look at this matchup, you've got, again, an unblocked center coming up on a linebacker. He's supposed to win that battle, but the initial punch and then getting rid of him allows you to make that play, and that's something I know Blake coaches y'all on every day.
Yes, sir. He does a great job with that. It's something we literally work, it seems like, every single day, and it's exactly for plays like this. Our defensive line does a great job all the time, but there's just going to be some plays where you got to get guys off you,
right,
and have to make a play. And so going on the snap, I could see that he was kind of moving to the left. I know the ball's coming to the left, and so I kind of take like a wide step early to get more head up. But I know that I'm going to have to play on the backside of this gap. I know the ball. If the ball's going to come through, he's going to bounce it back, because that was my gap. That was my fit once a guy pulled. And so I kind of like overplayed it a little bit just to get him leaning one way, and then was able to use his momentum, use my hands to like snatch myself back, into my gap.
No, it's a great job. Really nice job with your hands. And it's that initial punch for me because, and we'll slow-mo it here, you shock him. And when you shock him, because he's not expecting a linebacker to try to be that physical with an offensive lineman, he's probably expecting you to try to duck out of the way, go around the block maybe.
Yeah.
But when you shock him, then you're able to get your hands on him and get rid of him. Really nice job there. All right, there's a lot to unpack in this play, and I'll be honest with you. Let's go ahead. Let's fast forward to the end zone part of it because I think it's going to give an appreciation of this alignment and this scheme because this is something y'all have not shown all year. I think a lot's been made of the adjustments you made during the bye week, self-scout. We got to do more. We got to be more diverse. And this is something that is definitely diverse. We have not seen this yet from LSU's defense. Kind of walk us through this formation, this alignment. You've got, backers everywhere. You've got a zero nose here by Neal. You walked up on the line. I got to assume that's not something you've done a lot of.
I've done a good little bit of it, coming from Clemson. We played bigger personnel teams. They would have me do things like that. But, this year, I've had a few snaps, a couple snaps versus Kentucky.
Yeah.
I did some things like this. But we weren't, playing our scheme the way we were playing. Here, we know it's a run situation. And so immediately the first thing I'm looking at is that hip of the tackle. My goal in this one is to be as tight as I can, because I have an outside blitzer too here with the safety. And so, the play, like I said, the play comes back to me because Neal's able to get that pressure, and it probably would have ended up coming back regardless because we have so many guys slanting across. But, it happens a lot faster because, Neal's made a wall, early on. And so now it's like nowhere really for the back to go. And since I'm coming tight off that tackle, it falls back somewhat right to me,
All right, LSU fans, there he is, Mike Jones, linebacker. Going to be a lot of fun to watch him and this defense finish the season. This has been LSU Film Room, brought to you by Community Coffee. We'll see you next week. Go Tigers.